Do you know Avitus, the Roman emperor, who briefly ruled during one of the most turbulent times in Roman history? Let's unravel the story of Flavius Maccilius Eparchius Avitus, a name largely forgotten, yet filled with intrigue, drama, and lessons for the ages. Greetings, friends. Imagine a time when the Roman Empire was but a shadow of its former glory. It is amidst this backdrop that my story unfolds, a tale of a man born into a distinguished Gallic family, thrust into the maelstrom of imperial politics and warfare. My name is Avitus, and I was the Western Roman Emperor from 455 to 456 AD. Born in 395 AD in the heart of Gaul, I was raised in a world where the Roman Empire's once mighty influence was waning. Political instability, economic struggles, and relentless external threats defined my childhood. My early years were spent in the lush estates of my family, surrounded by the relics of a decaying empire and the whispers of our forefathers' glories. My family, deeply rooted in the Roman aristocracy, ensured I received a comprehensive education. I was tutored in Latin, Greek, rhetoric, and philosophy. The teachings of the Christian faith were also instilled in me, thanks to my close relationship with my father-in-law, the Christian writer Sidonius Apollinaris. His poetry and writings became a significant source of inspiration and guidance in my life. One of my fondest memories is of the long walks and passionate discussions with Sidonius in our garden, where we would debate the future of Rome and the virtues of Christian philosophy. Little did I know that these conversations would one day guide my decisions as an emperor. Yet, my early life was not without its trials. The shadow of the Huns loomed large over Gaul, and the threat of Attila's invasion in 451 AD brought fear and uncertainty. But it was in this crucible of conflict that my destiny began to take shape. Utilizing my influence with the Visigoths settled in Toulouse, I persuaded their king, Theodoric I, to join forces with the Roman general Aetius. Together, we repelled Attila's invasion at the Battle of the Catalonian Plains, a moment that would cement my reputation as a leader and a diplomat. Reflecting on these early years, I see the seeds of my future reign being sown. The education, the mentorship, the alliances forged, and the battles fought, all these elements were preparing me for the immense challenges that lay ahead. Next, we'll explore the tumultuous path that led to my ascension to the throne, a story filled with political intrigue and unexpected turns. You won't want to miss it. What twists of fate led a man of noble birth to the tumultuous throne of the Western Roman Empire? Join me as we delve into the political intrigue and pivotal moments that marked my ascent to power. After years of serving the Roman Empire in various capacities, I found myself at a crossroads in 455 AD. The Western Empire was in disarray, its throne vacated by the untimely death of Emperor Petronius Maximus. Amidst this chaos, the stage was set for my unexpected rise to power. The death of Maximus left a power vacuum in Rome, and the barbarian threats on the frontiers only intensified the empire's vulnerability. The need for a strong and decisive leader was more pressing than ever. However, the path to the throne was fraught with peril, and navigating the treacherous waters of Roman politics required both cunning and bravery. It was during this period that my influence with the Visigoths, particularly King Theodoric II, played a crucial role. Theodoric, who had been a steadfast ally, supported my claim to the throne. His endorsement was pivotal, as it brought the backing of the Visigothic forces, an invaluable asset in these troubled times. In July 455 at Toulouse, the Visigoths proclaimed me emperor, a move that was quickly endorsed by the Gallo-Romans at Arles. The support from these factions provided the legitimacy I needed to lay claim to the imperial purple. However, the journey to Rome was fraught with danger. As I made my way to the heart of the empire, I couldn't help but reflect on the immense responsibility that lay ahead. Arriving in Rome, I was met with both support and suspicion. The Roman Senate, ever wary of newcomers, was divided in their reception. Yet, with the military backing of the Visigoths and the political acumen I had honed over the years, I managed to secure my position. My official coronation as Emperor of the Western Roman Empire took place amidst a city still reeling from the death of my predecessor and the lingering threat of invasion. Aetius, the once great general, was now a bitter rival, and his legacy loomed large over my reign. The challenge was not just to rule, but to restore stability and confidence in an empire teetering on the brink of collapse. The support from Theodoric and the Visigoths was crucial, but I knew that sustaining their loyalty would require deft political maneuvering and a demonstration of strength. The ascension to the throne was a moment of triumph, but it also marked the beginning of an arduous journey. The weight of the empire rested on my shoulders, and the challenges were manifold. From dealing with internal dissent to defending against external threats, my reign was destined to be a turbulent one. Stay tuned as we delve into the heart of my reign, where every decision could mean the survival or demise of the empire. The story continues with battles, rivalries, and the constant struggle to maintain power. Ever wondered what it takes to steer an empire through the storm? Step into my shoes as we navigate the tumultuous reign that defined my legacy. As emperor, I faced a multitude of challenges that would test my resolve and leadership. The Western Roman Empire was a ship caught in a violent storm, and I was at the helm. The brief period of my reign from 455 to 456 AD was marked by both internal strife and external threats, and it required all my political and military acumen to keep the empire afloat. One of the immediate issues I faced was the empire's weakened military state. The loss of key territories and the constant threat from barbarian tribes, such as the Vandals and the Visigoths, necessitated swift and decisive action. Additionally, I had to deal with the political machinations within Rome itself, where loyalty was often fleeting. My relationship with the Visigoths was a double-edged sword. While their support had been crucial in my ascension, maintaining their allegiance was Theodoric II expected concessions and territories in return for his support, which strained the already thin resources of the empire. Nevertheless, I had to balance these demands with the needs of Rome and its citizens. One of the most notable aspects of my reign was my attempt to reform the military. I sought to strengthen the empire's defenses by recruiting more soldiers and fortifying key positions. However, these reforms were met with resistance from within the military ranks and the aristocracy, who were wary of any changes that might threaten their power. A scene that stands out during my reign was a tense confrontation with Aetius's supporters. Though Aetius himself had been assassinated before my ascension, his influence lingered. His followers viewed me as an outsider, and their opposition was a constant thorn in my side. The shadow of Aetius loomed large, a bitter rival even in death. One of the defining moments of my reign was my effort to reclaim the province of Africa from the Vandals. The Vandals, under their king Genseric, had seized this vital region, which was crucial for the empire's grain supply. I launched a campaign to retake Africa, but it was met with limited success. The campaign drained our resources and the Vandals proved to be formidable opponents. This military endeavor highlighted the empire's vulnerabilities and the limits of my power. The failure to reclaim Africa was a significant blow, undermining my authority and eroding the confidence of my allies. My reign, though short-lived, was a period of constant struggle. The efforts to reform the military, the political intrigue within Rome, and the external threats all painted a picture of an empire in turmoil. Despite my best efforts, the challenges proved insurmountable, and my reign was marked by more setbacks than victories. Next, we delve into the dramatic fall from power, the betrayal, and the end that came swiftly and unexpectedly. Don't miss the unfolding of this gripping saga. How does an emperor's reign come to a tragic end? Join me as we uncover the dramatic fall from power and the final days of my life. The year was 456 AD, and the Western Roman Empire was a tinderbox ready to ignite. My brief reign, fraught with challenges and setbacks, was teetering on the edge. Despite my efforts to stabilize the empire, the forces arrayed against me were relentless, leading to my inevitable downfall. The campaign to reclaim Africa from the Vandals had drained our resources and sapped morale. Meanwhile, internal dissent was growing stronger. The Roman general Ricimer, an ambitious and ruthless commander, began to see an opportunity to seize power for himself. His designs on the throne would be the catalyst for my undoing. Ricimer's dissatisfaction with my rule became evident as he rallied support from disgruntled factions within the empire. His ability to manipulate the Senate and other influential figures turned the tide against me. The seeds of betrayal were sown, and my days as emperor were numbered. The final blow came when Ricimer gathered his forces and confronted me near Placentia, modern Piacenza. The confrontation was swift and brutal. My loyalists were outnumbered and outmaneuvered. Despite our best efforts, we could not withstand Ricimer's well-coordinated assault. The battle was lost, and I was forced to flee. The moment of my abdication was one of the most harrowing experiences of my life. Ricimer, having defeated my forces, compelled me to step down. I was left with little choice but to abdicate the throne on October 18, 456 AD. Stripped of my imperial authority, I was appointed as the Bishop of Placentia, a role that offered me little solace given the circumstances. My retreat to Placentia was marked by a profound sense of loss and betrayal. I had hoped to restore the empire's glory, but my efforts had been thwarted at every turn. The weight of my failures bore heavily on me, and the betrayal by those I once trusted was a bitter pill to swallow. My death came not long after my abdication, under mysterious and contested circumstances. Some say I died in Placentia, perhaps while attempting to return to Gaul. Others suggest that I was murdered to prevent any potential resurgence or threat to Ricimer's newfound power. Regardless of the exact details, my life came to a tragic and premature end, marking the close of a turbulent chapter in the annals of Roman history. In the next chapter, we will examine my legacy and the echoes of my reign in the annals of history. How did my brief rule shape the future of the empire? Stay tuned to find out. What legacy does a short-lived emperor leave behind? Join me as we explore the impact of my reign on the Western Roman Empire and the historical significance that endures. Although my reign was brief, the effects of my time as emperor rippled through the history of the Western Roman Empire. My efforts, though marred by failure and betrayal, left a mark on the empire that would be felt for years to come. The Western Roman Empire was in a state of decline long before I ascended to the throne. My attempts to stabilize and restore it were hindered by internal divisions and external threats. Despite these challenges, my actions during my reign had a lasting impact, both positive and negative. One of the more notable aspects of my legacy was my relationship with the Visigoths. My alliance with Theodoric II and the Visigothic support during my ascension demonstrated the shifting power dynamics within the empire. The influence of barbarian tribes within Roman politics became more pronounced, setting a precedent for future interactions between Romans and these groups. The military campaigns I initiated, although ultimately unsuccessful, highlighted the persistent threat posed by the Vandals. The failure to reclaim Africa underscored the empire's waning power and foreshadowed further territorial losses. This campaign was a stark reminder of the limitations faced by the Western Roman Empire in its twilight years. Aetius, my bitter rival, left an enduring legacy that continued to overshadow my own. His death and the subsequent power struggles illustrated the volatility of Roman political life. The internal dissent and factionalism that plagued my reign were symptomatic of a broader decline in imperial unity and strength. Perhaps the most significant aspect of my legacy was the precedent set by my downfall. Ricimer's rise to power marked a turning point, as military leaders increasingly exerted control over the emperor and the empire. This shift in power dynamics further eroded the traditional authority of the Roman emperors and paved the way for future usurpations and power struggles. In the grand tapestry of Roman history, my reign serves as a poignant chapter illustrating the complexities and challenges of ruling during the empire's decline. Despite my efforts, the forces arrayed against me proved insurmountable. My legacy, therefore, is one of a noble attempt to restore stability, marred by betrayal and the relentless march of history. Stay tuned for the final chapter, where we will explore the historical sites connected to my reign and delve into the treasures of ancient coin collecting. Your journey into the past doesn't end here. It's just beginning. What remnants of my reign can still be found today? Travel with me through time to uncover the historical sites and treasures that keep my legacy alive. Though my time as emperor was brief, the echoes of my reign can still be heard in the annals of history. The places I walked, the battles I fought, and the coins minted in my name offer a tangible connection to the past. Let us journey through these remnants, explore their significance, and discover how my story continues to be told. As we delve into the tangible aspects of my legacy, we face the challenge of connecting with a distant past. The Western Roman Empire's decline meant that many records and artifacts were lost or scattered. Yet through dedicated exploration and preservation, we can piece together the story of my reign and its impact. Placentia, modern Piacenza. This city, where I faced my final days and became a bishop, is a treasure trove of history. Visitors can explore ancient Roman ruins, including remnants of the period when I lived. The local museum offers insights into the city's rich past, including artifacts from the late Roman Empire. Toulouse, France. Known as Toulouse in my time, Toulouse was the seat of the Visigothic kingdom and a significant place during my alliance with Theodoric II. The city's archaeological sites and museums provide a glimpse into the Visigothic and Roman interactions of the period. Rome. The Eternal City remains a living museum of Roman history. Though much has changed, landmarks such as the Roman Forum, Palatine Hill, and the Colosseum stand as testaments to the grandeur and turmoil of the empire. My reign, albeit brief, was part of this vast historical tapestry. Coins from my era offer a fascinating glimpse into the past. Collectors and historians alike value these artifacts for their historical and aesthetic significance. Coins minted during my reign often depict my image and convey messages of power and legitimacy. They serve as a tangible connection to my time as emperor and provide insights into the economic and political climate of the era. For example, this coin is a gold solidus weighing 4.47 grams, minted at Arles between July 9, AD 455 and October 17, AD 456, during my reign in the Western Roman Empire. It features the inscription, Dominus Noster Avitus Perpetuus Felix Augustus, and depicts a rosette diademed, draped and cuirassed bust of me facing right. Collectors can find these coins through reputable dealers and auctions. Joining a numismatic society can also offer opportunities to learn more and connect with fellow enthusiasts. These coins are not just collectibles. They are pieces of history that tell the story of an empire in decline and the leaders who tried to steer it. Thank you for watching. Our channel, known as the Renaissance Spirit, is dedicated to the pursuits of a just, equitable, and humanitarian world. We cover a wide array of topics, including history, politics, religion, personal development, society, culture, social and environmental justice, and other subjects within the liberal arts and sciences, such as ancient Rome and the Roman Empire, which offer fascinating comparisons and contrasts with the modern world. Topics on this channel are perfect for the true modern polymath. The Renaissance ushered in a golden age and the pursuit of knowledge, recovering wisdom lost to time and discovering new insights. It gave birth to the Enlightenment and the Age of Reason. Embracing truth, knowledge and an understanding and compassion for humanity and our shared history opens up the world to each of us, individually and collectively. It improves all of humanity, affording us the opportunity to be better stewards of the earth and to each other. The Renaissance spirit is more than just a philosophy or style. It is a way of living, learning, growing and thinking. Please subscribe, turn on notifications, and share. If you're looking to explore and experience what life has to offer, I'm sure you'll enjoy the other videos on my channel. Please peruse them and let me know in the comments what you take away from them and what other topics you would like to see covered. But first, take the quiz to see if you embody the Renaissance spirit. Live the Renaissance spirit. My life, my struggles and my reign were but a fleeting moment in the vast history of the Roman Empire. Yet, through the places I lived and the coins minted in my name, my legacy endures. As we reflect on the past, we gain insights into our present and future. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Explore more about Roman history and the fascinating stories of its leaders by watching other videos on our channel. Share your thoughts and questions in the comments, and let's continue this exploration together. Live the Renaissance spirit. Thank you for joining me on this journey through my life and reign. History is a vast and intricate tapestry, and there is always more to discover. Stay curious, and let's continue to uncover the secrets of the past together.